the first time we played at South by
Okay,
Southwest.
so let's talk about this now. Let's talk about your international tours.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the doors that opened in this period.
Yeah.
Before this, you're telling me the only time you had been on that out of this country was while we were headed to Egypt.
Egyptos.
And that time wasn't even just the band, it was just Blinky. So
And I was not even known as Blinky.
Exactly. Billy Sellanga.
Billy Sellanga.
So now, the first album didn't per se open up doors for international touring, did it?
No, but the first album was the foundation where we're like, oh, okay. Like, I think it got more for locally because we didn't have a following then.
I get.
It brought us the right people.
The right home base.
The right home base.
I get what you mean. So here where you were too ahead or too different, it's that first album sort of gave you a support group.
Yeah, a support group where it's just like, oh, we are not mad.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. So that it and they were like the fuel which enabled you to
exactly.
do. Now 82.
And 82, now we were just confident and we're like, boom, we put this. And if you listen to those two albums, 82 is bolder.
Yeah, you can feel it.
You can feel it. It's like with 82, you can sense, oh, okay, these guys they are much more sure. With Scratch Reveal and literally it's there in the name.
Scratch, yeah, nice.
It's there in the name. It's like we're trying to get the digits to open, to unlock the codes.
Okay, so let's now enter this. So what happens? Where do you guys begin getting called, and what doors begin to open? Because from jumping to Southwest, the gig, Southwest, yeah, Southwest, yeah, that's not as there are musicians with albums galore who still don't get the opportunity to play there.
So what happened was Gote started calling us for things. It's like, we want you to do a live show, but also because you guys don't only perform, we want you to make a video art exhibition.
Yes.
So we'd make videos and run them for 2 weeks. Then at the end, we'd have
a concert.
Don't tell me what I can and can't do. I can change the world. Just because I'm an African with black skin, it doesn't mean that I won't win if I try. It doesn't matter where you've been, what you've seen, what you know. I know I'm gonna win. I got the heart of a champion. I'm champion. So don't tell me what I can and can't do. I can change the world. Can't reign forever, can't be bad forever. Can't reign forever, can't be bad forever. Can't reign forever, can't be bad forever. Can't reign forever, forever, forever.
So it's like we're using all aspects of our creativity. We can make videos, we can score the videos, we can create universes for all these characters that we want. There's a theme we did where guys are in a cab and just talking about life to the cab driver. And then it's funny, like later I've seen a bunch of things that also have that kind of of thing.
Uber Chronicles. I've seen things like that, yeah.
I hope he's asleep. He always falls asleep at the same time. 10 p.m. So predictable. I hate how he breathes as he sleeps. It's so regular, you know? Breathe in, breathe out. It's like everything about his life. I hate his regular job. I hate our regular home, our regular life. It was a stupid relationship to begin with. I knew it had a time limit. It had an expiration date. But I got pregnant. And that was it. I got the best years of my life. For what? He's disgusting. Everything about him reminds me about what I've lost. I could have been something. I could have met someone spectacular. Said I'm stuck with him.
And
Those are some amazing YouTube series.
yeah, and so we did those things, and because of that, there's a Wangeshi Binyavanga. Binyavanga Wainaina.
No,
Eh? He's died.
he passed on.
He passed
Oh,
on.
I didn't want to start saying RIP
Yeah.
and he hadn't.
The
Because I
late
remember,
Binyavanga.
yeah, he did.
He used to work at a really great university. I'm forgetting, in upstate New York. And he was seeing the things that we were doing. And it's like, for him, it was like, because he'd worked with Kwani, he started Kwani, and he was also a part of what's it called? He was a part of, like, he really fronted Ukoflani. Binyavanga loved Ukoflani. So he was out there in the States and trying to see, man, and looking back, and he's seeing these guys in Nairobi who are like the next phase of Kwani. It's like there's a lot of intention with the work. It's like it's fun, but it's also well thought out. And Binya was like, man, you guys have to bring this to the States. And this was also Sheba Hurst, like a big credit to Sheba. Sheba saw what we were doing, and it's like, and like I'm always very thankful for that kind of support, where Sheba was like, man, you know what? These guys are doing such good work. It shouldn't just be here in Kenya. So he pushed Binya, be like, these guys have to come to the States to do something. And then Binya got some kidogo funding, and we were able to buy tickets. And then Binya introduced us to one of the greatest Kenyan artists, who's called Wangeshi Mutu, who's now a really good friend. And Wangeshi was like, man, she saw the videos, she saw what we were doing, she'd seen like now the video art type stuff that we'd done. I was like, this can show in New York easy. I was like, and sometimes that's what we need. We need the right people to just see what you're doing and be like, you know what, I probably can't put money into this, but I know someone who knows
somebody. Yeah. And dude, it's what you said. An idea in the head is just an idea.
Exactly.
But now that you do it, people are able to see it and then hand it over.
Exactly. And so the video art exhibitions that we were doing here in Nairobi, that was supported by Gote, now we had content that we could take to New York and be like, okay, we're gonna show these video things, and then at the end we can perform and we can DJ.
So the video art concept was the Uber Chronicles. I mean, it was the conversations. What was shown on the screens?
Yeah, I think
It was different things.
It was different stories.
Okay.
It was very different stories. Some of them music videos, some of them, and then
But it was video art.
Exactly.
It was, okay, I get it.
And then we took this to New York.
So this was the first time now you guys are going
to the States, and we took this to the States, and Wangeshi blasted it to her friends. As like her really good friends came out to see what these guys in Nai are doing, and like Kenyans who lived there as well came out. And it was like, this thing that we're doing in Nairobi can actually translate elsewhere. And it was mind-blowing.
Again, it opened. All of you went.
Yeah, all of us
The whole
went.
of just the three of the four members.
Yeah, we all went.
Mm.
Yo 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 yo.
We have been influenced a lot by, I guess you could say, Western culture. So it's now seeping into whatever we do, and that's why like just the band's music might sound accessible to a Western audience.
Migingo to manda marwa katu yuagyaye. Yo 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 yo.
Same with even the exhibit. You know, some of the pieces, you're not going to go and see an African dance, you know, a traditional dance. You're going to see something that's much more modern in terms of how we live currently back home. Now everyone's kind of trying to define themselves. Like, we have been handed down like a million definitions of what African music should sound like, what African art should be like, what African paint, like just art as a whole. We've been told what it is, and it's like if you go everywhere from South Africa all the way to the top, you'll find different young people are kind of finding their own way and kind of reinventing the African weave.
5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do it. Do it. Do it.
And
That must have been another energizer because you are in a different country, showcasing what you are doing at home.
And it's an energizer because we're not playing by anyone's rules. We're playing by our rules.
Wow.
So it's like people who took it the way we as artists saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember met some really fresh people came for that Nini. People who, and someone saw us there. I was like, you know what? I'm booking you for South by Southwest.
No way.
Yeah. So just being there
They opened another
another door. So that after that, Nini, we were there for a month. Just was in the States, just watching concerts. I remember there's a concert we went to and watched Erykah Badu and Lauryn Hill, Mos Def and Childish Gambino.
Like, I've made it, I've arrived.
Damn. And the Fugees came on stage. I was just there. And we did a couple of really good interviews. And like people in New York now, like in the right pockets, started to know who we are. And that was just mad, man. Then, so we spent that month there
doing the video.
Doing that video.
Uh-huh.
And then I think we met someone who had heard about us because of the album being online and the viral video. And they hit us up in this. They were like, we're doing this Fela Kuti remix project. And I'd had the first Fela Kuti remix project. And they're like, we want you guys to work on it. The first Fela Kuti project had The Roots, had Erykah Badu, had all these other guys. I'm like, yeah, me, I want to, like, we want to work with those guys because those are the guys we knew. Then like, okay, we'll just record stuff. Then we go back. Like, okay, we can't get Erykah Badu, but we have this access to this upcoming artist called Chance the Rapper. We have Childish Gambino. I'm like, I don't know who they are, but it's like, okay, well, let's do it. Then now it's like, I look back and Just a Band has a song with Chance the Rapper and Childish Gambino.
What do you mean on that song?
On that Fela Kuti remix project, there's Just a Band featuring Childish Gambino.
You stood in front of me, everything that I was and what I wanna be. Shots fired, over 100 G's. And if it wasn't for you, then who's it gonna be? I never been to Japan or alone. Sat in the court because it stand for its tone. I'm out in New York with my hand on the phone with a message to my Grammy saying, man, I'm so home, I'm so grown ass man. But is it worth it? Black man no perfect, white man no perfect. Praise his name, the whole flow sounds so church shit. That's why a nigga throw shade straight from Kirkland. A million liters, just millimeters, 2,000 meters. I couldn't leave him, think all of my cousin had to believe him. Mr. Bow down. When we don't see each other, yeah, I'm fine now. But I don't know my mother, she left me. America, my foster care. I tried to get a hold of her, but I lost the trail. Tried to get a phone number, but my pops in jail. I'm posted up on coldness with a couple rocks in hand. My big brother taught me how to go and move like a crook move. Walk tall through the streets, don't be shook, dude. This is our home. It might be broken, but it's still good. You might be joking, but you still hood. They think they know you, but they don't. They wanna own you, but they won't. They wanna say, nigga, what's up? Whoa, we're not there yet. But I hear whisper through your air vents.
So what did you do? You sang, or you
No,
produced?
we produced,
you-
like we were working with a band.
It was like an album that they were doing
An
that
album,
has different remixes of Fela Kuti songs.
yeah.
So in one of those songs, there's Just a Band featuring
Yeah,
Childish Gambino.
because we worked on a bunch of things, and then we came back to Nairobi.
Yes.
Then that project nyamazed for years because they were still looking for the right artist to fit in. And then he hit us up. It's like, yo, we have this new rapper from Chicago called Chance. I'm like, okay. The latest were like, oh my god.
Okay.
So
And the Southwest. So did you come back to Nairobi and then go back to do Southwest?
we came back to Nairobi, continued making music, continued like making art, and then South by Southwest, the first one happened.
So you're back to the States.
Back to the States,
Austin.
and then we played. I think there's a show we played. It was Blitz the Ambassador, a rapper from Congo called Balogi.
Okay. Let's say somebody has no idea what Southwest is.
South by Southwest
yeah.
is one of the
keep messing that name.
biggest South SXSW.
Yeah.
How many S? Yeah,
Yo.
SXSW. And so it's like one of the biggest festivals for discovering new artists. So it's like an open market festival. So the whole city of Austin changes and becomes. Let's take it like it's Nairobi. The whole of Nairobi becomes a festival town where big artists come and play some shows, and sponsors are in the Nini. So everyone has their showcase. So let's say my Blink Radio.
Mm-hmm.
I have artists who I've selected for Blink Radio's festival. So that night you're coming to watch whoever has been selected by that.
Yes.
Then Vans have their stage, Nike has their stage, Adidas have their stage,
Facebook have their stage.
has
Yeah.
their stage, Google has it. It's like an interactive film and video
Yep.
festival.
Nice. So you guys were called as part of that.
As
And were
part
you
of-
going to showcase your video or just now
no,
as
but now
musicians?
you're as musicians.
Wow.
So it's crazy. We played there's the night we played, and a couple of bookers were in the festival.
Yes, because they're
They're-
guys who are even scouting for
They're
talent.
scouting for talent. And so that's how we ended up playing in Central Park in New York, because the booker for Summer Stage, which is the biggest free festival in the States, in New York, like all of summer they have concerts.
Yeah.
So when the sun is out and there's no coronavirus, and people can go out and get free music that's funded by the state.
Yes.
And so like you'll see all kinds of different artists from around the world playing this festival. So we ended up being selected to play there. I was like, man, this is so crazy.
How was the Southwest by performance? How was the performance of that?
It was really good, but South by Southwest has really big festivals
And then
has
small
small
ones. Yes, of course.
So we played a small, well curated festival.
Yeah, because I mean,
by-
you're also entering. You're starting.
We are engaging, and there's things about the developed markets that I really like. I wish we had that in for us, where there's a place where you could be like, I discovered this artist there. So we're playing this festival, and a bunch of people came in, and they're like, "Me, I've heard you. We came to see you guys. Like, we are from Mexico." I was like, I don't know. And some guys from Australia, some guys, because people
It's a
from
global.
around
Yeah,
the world
it's a
come
global
to see-
village.
Yeah.
I mean, this was your international start.
The first gig we played outside of Kenya was in Berlin,
Because of the Berlin projects together with
Berlin, Nairobi,
the Goethe Institute.
with the Goethe Institute.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that.
So
Because that's like a semi-album that you did, if I'm not wrong.
exactly. So after the Nini, after 82, and we've done a bunch of video art projects with Nini, the guys at Goethe then were like, you know what? All these things have been very successful. We now want to figure out how to get artists, progressive artists from Germany, progressive artists from Nairobi to come together, and we have an exchange. That Wasani from Berlin, like more electronic, and Kenya was like Uko Flani, just a band, Nazizi. There's someone else, but it's like also Koflani is huge. It's like they have their own little. It's like Wu-Tang.
Yep. so that's now when that project came together,
Yeah,
and you guys did an EP,
we did an album,
a full album.
a full album. I actually have the vinyl in my house, and so we played shows in Nairobi, and then we went to Berlin. That was the first time we were going to Europe. It was just eye-opening. It's the first with Ukoflani. The personalities of Just a Band and Ukoflani are so different as you'd expect them. Like, we're more like, we want to chill. We're like, be playing games,
Yeah.
video games, or reading, or watching movies, or whatever. Ukoflani are like, they're like rock stars in that sense. They're like, leo tunaenda kuseli. So it was just, it was an experience. And then it's the first time, it was in December, the first time in the snow, like you're seeing all these lights at Christmas. Well, Christmas the way you've envisioned it as a Kenyan,
from
where
the
it's
movies.
from the movies, and then you go to this joint, and everything is lights in that way. And like snow, we're in the snow, baridi nini, and tukona like we're with uko fulani. I'm just seeing them how they live their lives, and just we'll have conversation. That was a mad time.
You're together for how long?
For 2 weeks. Then we played in Berlin, we played in Hamburg. I remember uko fulani, some of them missed the show because some guys went to Amsterdam, because Amsterdam is where you can smoke.
It's where you can smoke the blizzy.
But also it's like Amsterdam, like if you, I can see the Ninis, like it's a little, so they went and missed a show, and the guys at Gote were like, these guys. But that's like the
like,
thing.
Yeah.
We are recording now, silence. Giving my life for Tuckmans. Yo, I will never give up, this you're fine. I will never give up, this you're fine. I will never give up, this you're fine. Mr. Tuckmans is the real green find. I will never ever give up the fight. I will never give up, this you're fine. I said Tuckmans must survive, cause it's a righteous cause, it must survive. I will never ever give up this fight. No, I will never ever give up this fight. I will never ever give up this fight. No.
Very nice, man. One more time for me, please.
Listen,
Wow.
tusisoteke mafunzo kwa watoto. Hey, uko fulani Suleimani ndani ya pale. Hey, generation meditation lesson careful. Hey, Babylon kwa ina the ile itafu. Hey, tuungane wa Afrika ile kikwe. Tumevumilia kwa muda mwingi. Kwa hivyo tubareke sote uko fulani tuwe na imani. Tukipita ndani ya ghetto, upendo kwa watoto. Tukipita ndani ya ghetto, upendo kwa wasichana. Tukipita ndani ya bale, upendo kwa mabrother beni. Yeah, uko fulani mitani upendo kwa sogo watu wote wa ghetto.
That is the
What is the feeling? What is the feeling in Berlin? That is the feeling. That is the feeling. What is the feeling in Berlin? That is the feeling. That is the feeling. That is the feeling in Berlin. That is the feeling. That is the feeling. That is the feeling in Berlin.
Can we got the float? Enough things to come. Silver, you're there in the slot.
Kumanisha pande hizi tushapitia, tunadumisha mali na upendo uko fulani. Kila tunakokwenda tunasukuma peace all over the world. One people, one nation, tuwe kitu kimoja. Umoja ni nguvu, utengano ni udhaifu. Matoti ni ishara ya amani na upendo. Kila tunakokwenda tunaweka alama kuonyesha peace. Tumetoka Afrika mpaka pande hizi kudumisha cheap kina kona understand. One love, yeah. One love, one people, one nation.
But also at this time, me university zangu bado zinaendelea, so I'm seeing what are these guys in other places responding to. And
This 100% German audience.
there's just 100% German audience, and I'm seeing there's a band that was part of the BLNRB project. It's called Mod Selector, and they came to Nairobi. Again, that project was so ahead of its time. Like, I listened to some of the things we worked on then. Like, man, to be honest, my journey has been blessed in that way. That I've always ended up in a place where I'm learning something new. It's taking me to the next frontier.
Did you record anything with the two? So did you collaborate?
We collaborate with Mode Selector we did, and with another German electronic band.
Yeah, something like that.
How you got it, man? Style? Bigger.
The Tuckmans, they were more techno type DJs. I've never really gotten into techno, but once you're in a German club, then you understand it. It's like there's a thing that it has in that club with the lights that it makes sense.
Okay, because we're on this German project. It was It was a 2-album project, or should I say, you worked on it. You didn't just do one album. You did another album with them.
We did another album that is more. It's called the 10 Cities Project. So 10 cities from, like, 5 from Africa, 5 from Europe. And we just came up at the right time. It's like, I don't even know if they have projects like those anymore. So it's like, exactly, it's like being at the right place at the right time. So with the first project, we went to Berlin. The second project, we ended up having a lot of artists go to different places.
Club culture basically is European, but most club music has its roots in Africa. Musicians from Europe coming to Africa, 5 cities in Europe, 5 cities in Africa. And there's a pairing of 2 cities for each phase. In a major city, any major city, there must be alternative scenes. And we're hoping 10 cities will be the birth of some kind of scene.
Are you coming with us? We're moving on. Are you coming with us? Ìrìnàjò lọ sí Lagos. Ìrìnàjò lọ sí Lagos. Má ṣe sọ ẹgbẹ́.
When they all came and they brought in different kind of music, electronic music, and I was trying to do different kind of things into it, put some organic instruments, I was like, wow.
Sure. What's that? It's This is the nice thing about it, to make music with people who don't do exactly what you do.
The value is like we get to know someone else's culture and interact with a piece of their culture, and they get to interact with us. And this is how you maintain world peace.
The bass it goes boom boom boom, and when it does so you know what to do. They don't think too much, just go with the groove. A 1 to the 2 to the open floor. Oh, let us see what you can do. We're picking it up and we're dropping it down, and we raise the roof until the dust is a cloud. Nairobi, show them how it gets down. Lisbon, show them that we got fire. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam. Thank you so very much, madam. Napenda ngoma, piga makofi. Kama unapenda ngoma, piga makofi. Makofi, 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 makofi. Kama unapenda ngoma, piga makofi. Makofi, 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 makofi. Kama unapenda ngoma, piga makofi. Makofi, 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 makofi. Kama unapenda ngoma, piga makofi. Makofi, 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 makofi. The bass it goes boom boom boom. Kama unapenda. The bass it goes boom boom boom. The bass it goes boom boom boom.
So some guys came to Nairobi and we had a party here in Westlands, like DJs from SA came here. Oh, we were in the studio for 2 weeks just making music.
You guys didn't travel this time?
We traveled, I don't remember where we went to.
And the 10 cities, so 10 cities coming together to make music. That's just basically the concept.
Exactly.
And again, just a band part of this.
Exactly.
At this time, have you started DJing?
Yeah, like DJing we started in 20, like we actually with the first album. I saw a picture last week where we had DJ sets and we used to have DJ sets, but again, like with the DJ sets, it's not more, because sometimes there's different types of DJs.
Uh-huh.
There's DJs who play what you want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
There's DJs who introduce you to new music. There's DJs who do both. So like if you go to a Black Coffee,
there's DJs who just enhance the live band sets.
Exactly. There's so many categories of DJs. So if you listen to Black Coffee is not the person you're gonna go tell, play for me this song. You're going to listen to his selection for that night. And that's like a concert, because he also produces music. There's DJs who I'm going to listen to them because they play soul.
Mm.
And that's their thing. So even the shift in and I'm not a DJ that I can play things that people want, but my role as a DJ is more I listen to so much music that slips under the radar.
It's like the song you played when we're waiting for you. There's a song you just played and I'm just like, I want this song. How come I've never heard it from South Africa?
How come? And because Kenya, we are sheltered as musically, we're so sheltered. It's like there's someone who decided that these songs are gonna be the songs that everyone listens to. And that's like what we like.
We all sing in the same song.
Exactly. So I get frustrated when, as someone who, I love Stevie Wonder, for example. Stevie Wonder has so many albums. Bruh, if I come to your set or if I'm listening to your radio station and you're only playing 2 songs, I'm never going to listen to you. I'm sorry. Because you have limited this great being of a musician, one of the greatest musicians of our time, to happy birthday, and I just called to say I love you. Man, shut up. Please, just go. It's like, literally. So that's the thing. And that's what I was talking about.
You know, when you've said it like that, I look at radio stations now very differently, because even who are you as a radio station to say that I just want to hear these 2 songs?
Yeah. It's like, if you're a song that plays classic music, bruh, your assignment is huge.
Yep.
Your
this classic music globally.
Exactly. Your assignment is not to play us what you think we want to hear. And it's also created this thing where people expect a DJ to be
the box,
to be in a box. I'm sorry, but mimi sitawahi kuwekwa kwa box na mtu yote kwa hii dunia. Mkage mkijua. Like, because also, I'll tell you a story. Like, last year I played in Lagos, and I'm in a cab going to a radio interview. And as the guy is playing his radio, because I'm always like, I want to hear what you guys are listening to. And the radio plays Party Don't Stop, Camp Mula. In 2019. That told me something that I was just like, man, sometimes we don't know what we have, and sometimes we want to box what we have into what we know. So it's like, that song is playing, it's like those guys still have it in rotation in Nigeria. I remember also in AC, there was a time we got in, and the passport people asked us, where are you from? We're from Kenya. Do you know that group with a small girl? And I'm like, what? Camp Mula? Bro, Camp Mula was so... Yeah, so in terms...
But that's crazy how big they were then.
So in terms of limiting things to what we know or what we wanted, that's the fault that we've fallen into, where sometimes DJs end up, you go to a club and you hear all the same songs.
Yep.
Because it's almost an abusive relationship where radio has determined that these songs will be the songs. Clubs have determined. As soon as you start playing something else, someone comes and says, nicheze ile wimbo nilisikia kwa radio, which sometimes has led to a lot of DJs being like, okay, we want to give the people what they want. And we have so many DJs here who play great music that ends up not being appreciated. And also artists who are trying to make music that's authentic to them end up being boxed in because
the DJ will only pay my music if it's like this.
So me nikiwa kama mi si gengeton siwezi chezwa.
Kama
mi si nini. So in terms of even range, think about it. Outside of a very small group of people who've been able to beat that system, a lot of our songs are party songs. So where's the space for a Shekinah in this?
Yep.
Where's the space for a Black Coffee in this? Where's the space for all this range and talent that we could have? It's like sometimes it's, for me, the day I'll know we have not with the range as consumers, not the range as artists, is when the biggest song in Kenya is a slow, chill song. And then that just shows that, okay,
we're transitioning. I hear you.
Because right now we have this thing for, it's just club bangers.
You know, I love what you're saying, because that's, if you go to Cape Town, that's the beauty that's there.
Yeah.
You see a drum. I remember the first time I went to Long Street in Cape Town, and the girl's like, no, this is just a drum and bass club. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, just come in, just doo-dum, doo-dum, that kind of music. And this club, I mean, this other club does this kind of music. This other club, like the range and the selection was so diverse that we spent the nightclub hopping just so that we could experience the different culture within the night culture. Because in Kenya, you used to Electric Avenue, where all clubs are banging the same song. From what I'm hearing about your DJ mindset, and this is why I love going back to the box. I mean, going back to hearing the backstory. Your DJ mindset is the same thing that happened to you in KU. So you will play what you feel is good music at that time.
And even at that time, period. It's like, I just want to play. Like you can tell me some marks for some things, technical things sometimes, but you can never tell me marks for music selection.
No.
You're now niko confident sana. Hakuna music selection because remember my universities have been everywhere.
Yes.
Like, I've had music in mats, I've had music in clubs, I've had music in pubs in Soweto, I've had music in New York.
Southwest by West.
And like literally everywhere I'm traveling to. Last year I played in Ibiza. I was listening.
Boss, we're going to talk about your DJ career. This is insane.
I was like, oh, okay. So when I'm in a cab, I'm listening to what the cab guy is playing. So which is what I was telling you. I don't understand how Kanye West can find Ayubogada's song,
a Kenyan,
that never plays on Kenyan radio. Hapo hakuna kitu. Like, I'm just like, no. There's someone who is playing with our minds somewhere. It's like, anywhere you go, Hugh Masekela, when he died, he was a South African music legend. Here, when our legends die, they die a very frustrated life. And it's across the board. And sometimes it's even across the Nini for people who are culture shifters end up dying neglected.
Yep, that's true.
Like, because we have created a system that worships money over everything. So, Wangari Maathai will have a park named after her in Peru. If she has a park named after her in Peru, how much more should she have in her own country?
Yeah. Dude, you're eating us. But I love it. I mean, everything that you're saying is it's smack on, it's bang on, it's exactly what you're saying.
And I'm like, honestly, people who...
I was doing some research the other day. I'm like, why do we name our streets the way that we name them? Who are all these guys? Who was Dennis Pritz? But I mean, we find out a lot of them were actually guys from back in the day.
Yeah.
But going forward, it's like James Gishuru, Wayaki, you know.
Bro, I'm wearing a Malcolm X badge. Kenya has freedom fighters.
Uh-huh.
If someone asks you, do you know who...
Name 4.
Pio Gama, like, do you know his face? You know the name. Do you know his face? Do you know Ronald Gala? Do you know what Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, his politics? What he? Do you know the politics of Jomo Kenyatta? Do you know? And some of these things, when you think about them, we've ended up being a culture that consumes other people more than we consume us.
Our own.
So that's why when I think about, bro, and I'm saying, I was in last year again. We were on tour, played in this place called Sao Tome. It's a small island close to an hour from Ghana. And then I'm in this hotel, we are eating, and someone is playing. And what do I hear? Malaika. Then, how did this song, this is one of the remotest places I've ever been. How is Malaika being played in a hotel in Sao Tome, which we don't even know where, like literally yes. Before I went there, I knew nothing about it.
Yeah.
So the thing is, we have become the export, like greatness is not even limited to one person. There's a lot of great people in Kenya. And I'll tell you the fact for now, Vilemin Naiona. Nairobi is in the top 3 cities in Africa. And competition yake for number 1, I'd struggle with.
Whoa.
Like Nairobi. Nairobi
and this is somebody who's traveled. You're talking about you, Blinky. You've been to Joburg. You've played in Joburg. You've played in Lagos. You've played in Cape Town. You've played
in Accra. I've played in Cairo. I've played in a lot of. I've played in Namibia. I've played in a lot of cities in Africa. Like there's something about Nairobi where it's like a mix of so many good things. And sometimes you don't know that until you leave.
Yeah.
Because someone could argue that Joburg has this and this and this, but you can't walk peacefully in Joburg because you always have to be very tight. Lagos is beautiful, but it's hectic. And this is not to say that Nairobi is perfect.
I hear that.
This is to tell people that we have something that is beautiful, but we don't see it because we are always focused on chasing after other things. So sometimes even I was asked to open for an up-and-coming artist from Lagos. I was like, I know for a fact that established artists from Kenya, no matter how big you are, you're not gonna be the headlining act in Lagos. You're not gonna be the headlining act in Joburg. You can play your own show, but if it's a show that's featuring all these guys, you're gonna be in a spot huko katikati. Unless you're the biggest artist in Africa, unless you become a Wizkid or something. So why do we have that thing where someone else becomes big off 3-4 songs elsewhere and you call them to headline here and you have the audacity to be like, whoever is a big artist from here, go open for them, because in their countries it would not happen.
I get.
So it's not a Madarao thing.
Yeah,
it's a respect thing, where you know the work I've done here, you know the work Calligraph, Sauti, all these guys have done. The Mushrooms, the Mushrooms should be headlining shows because they're like our Rolling Stones, they're our guys who paved the way. So you can have a concert with them headlining, the rest of us uko in the middle, because you understand, we would not be there without them. It's the respect you'd give your uncle or your father or your grandfather or whatever. But we have this thing where whoever is coming, us will open for them. And whoever pays is paying the money calls a tune. But what I'm calling for is a reset in the thinking.
I hear you.
Because in these other
because
places,
first of all, you're also setting an example
Exactly.
to locally, to the upcomings, and everybody saying these other guys are better than your guys.
Exactly.
You get?
And technically, it's not
It's
always.
true. I mean, I just finished an interview with Calligraph, and Calligraph, he was talking about how it's a problem when he gets off stage, that sometimes the presenters have to tell him to chill, because his show, then the guy coming on next may not perform as well. I remember during Jokali's spotlight time, when he was shining, Jokali was the first time I remember an international act was told, by the way, you're not finishing. Jokali is finishing. Jokali is ending the show. And I feel like it's not that we don't have those artists still existing right now. We just have to keep giving. We have them. The Sauti Souls are there. You get what I mean? We just have to sort of give out. We have to give the honor that's there. Also, truth be told, some of our stories were bad at narrating.
Exactly.
That's why when we started something like the Playhouse.
Exactly. So for me, sometimes I'll say no to some things, not because I'm feeling sweet about it, but because
put me in my rightful position.
Because in my rightful place also, but also I know the countries these people these guys are coming from would not be so eager to do the same for us.
What?
I'm telling you,
You've been saying no to international guys here.
No. I'm saying.
No, I hear what you're saying. They would not reciprocate and put our artist on calling
as
the soul, and then no, they would never do that.
Utacheza,
but
utacheza ile spot tutakupea.
But also, there's a thing that I like about that. It shows that they are
proud of themselves.
Yes.
And that is my point.
Yes.
It's like, please, we have to be proud of ourselves. And that was why I was saying that in terms of African cities, Nairobi is up there. But because we have for a long time thought everywhere else is better, then we end up using that mindset to put people in like, someone is coming from there, so we should give them the biggest honor and leave our enemies.
It's taken me a second, but I've got it. Okay, I'd like to apologize to the guys watching for the delay, but we're there now. Let's talk about it.
Sorry for the delay.
Sorry for the delay. I've been trying to put that pun in there. Okay, Just a Band, album number 3.